Jeff Berger, Abundance and Optimum Wellness. I'm here with Dr. Sean Talbot. Good evening, and welcome to Abundance and Optimum Wellness and my interview with Angela Cenzalli, where you'll hear how this businesswoman incorporated a holistic mental wellness platform of products and programs into her existing consulting business model and how it's working for her as she coaches others in her field of expertise, which is landscaping, and a lot more you'll hear about. But before I officially introduce Angela, if I may say, again, I'm Jeffrey Berger, founder of Abundance and Optimum Wellness, where I believe everyone should be living an abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. I am a certified holistic mental wellness coach, as well as a certified health and integrative wellness coach. And I am humbled to be aligned with the only mental wellness company that's focusing on the microbiome, which is the gut-brain-heart axis, a science that's disrupting the health and wellness industry big time today, especially. Why? Science is really proving that disease starts in the gut. And which you're going to really hear more about mental wellness, because this is actually starting in the gut. And you're going to hear much more in 2022, because this is the year of transformation. And there's so much great information that is going to be disseminated to those who are out there looking for this information. So without further ado, my amazing guest comes to us from Massachusetts, where I actually lived there for 15 years. And she lived in Falmouth, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and just moved to Raynham, Mass, which I know where that is. And she is engaged to her soon-to-be wife, Julie Yan, with a fall 2022 wedding. And Angela is the president and CEO of B Mentors Consulting and Wellness Group. Angela speaks. She's a speaker. Yes, she does speak. She's a speaker. She's a trainer. She's a business coach, a certified mental wellness coach as well. I was privy to be in the same class that we were both in to get the certification, amazing certification. She's a solopreneur and a Jill of all trades. So welcome, Angela, to tonight's kickoff to Jeffrey E. Berger's Abundance and Optimum Wellness. Welcome.
Jeff, thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here and to chat with you about mental wellness and how we're both incorporating it into our businesses. And thank you for the opportunity to share with what I've been doing and successes that myself and my clients have had. So I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, I'm really humbled and very excited to hear what you're going to share with our viewers tonight. And so share a little bit about who is Angela.
Well, we don't have all night, so I'll keep it brief. But
yeah.
Jeff, my background is I've had a couple different careers over time, and most recently in the past 20 years, I am a landscape professional. So I have, been down planting plants and mowing lawns and doing all those things up into management, and also as I'm a certified snow professional in the industry. And over the last couple of years, I've really looked at, where I'm spending my time and how I'm spending it, and decided that it was time to really focus on my passion, which is helping others develop and be the best that they can be. And I'm sure we'll talk about it tonight, but there's a
Absolutely.
a real need in my industry and in all the trades. You mentioned a Jill of all trades, and I do tile work, I do landscaping, a little bit of carpentry, love to work with my hands. I was a dancer at one time, it's like, it's kind of like all incorporated, but
Awesome.
this is something that's actually really for everyone, no matter who you are or
Yeah,
what occupation you have.
I agree with you 100%. The more I am, the last couple of years, the more I'm learning, the more that's coming to the forefront in medical and scientific journals, as well as in the mainstream media, as far as magazines and literature. It's coming to the forefront, which is good. It's needed. So let's dive into the questions. What made you leave your landscaping position? Because you were working for a company to pursue your own coaching business.
I did. I transitioned a few years ago into truly into a consultant, and again, my focus was really on. In my industry, there are many talented individuals, but there are a shortage of managers in the management, and there's no clear ladder in how to get there. And so I decided that my true passion really is coaching and developing an individual to be the best version of themselves.
That's awesome.
I see a real need for it, because there really isn't that kind of opportunity clearly. So oftentimes we take the best person, we say, you're really good at what you do, so I'm going to make you a manager, and then they drop them in the pond, and the business is stressful in and of itself, but it's really difficult to move from a peer into a manager. And again, there's no training course that says if you take this course, you'll be a qualified, manager of how to do all these things. So I took the leap and decided that that's really where I wanted to focus. And wellness has always been very important to me. And it seemed like a natural fit to incorporate wellness into my consulting plan, because when you are the best version of yourself, you truly are. You are mentally fit. You are you're firing on all cylinders, and so your ability to execute is even stronger when you put all those pieces together. So it was a natural fit to incorporate wellness right into the business.
Yeah, no, that's really important. And, my experience, because I left corporate America in 2016 being totally burnt out. And I agree with you. They put you into these positions, you get the raise, you get the promotion, and then you're thrown into the wolves, and you're thrown into, do what you can do. And there's really, you've got the EAPs, the employee assistant programs, but that's just a cycle of going through, but never getting to the root cause of what's really going on. But then in the same token, you build up stress, anxiety in regards to becoming an assistant manager or a manager or a VP with no true guidance. And that seems to be a trend over the years through corporate America, but very important, because everybody's stressed. Everybody experiences stress and anxiety. So you've gone out, taken that leap to be a solopreneur, which is awesome. And you've incorporated this into your business model. Tell us, how that's been going as you have been out there coaching different businesses or different individuals, if you will, to share some experiences of what you're doing in the field.
So it's not an easy transition to get. It's an easy transition for leadership development, because as you just mentioned, there's a huge need, and people really want that. There is not or has not been a demand of wellness, and so I am one of the few people in my industry even talking about it. So talking about, stress and anxiety, talking about, we talk a lot about safety, how to operate equipment safety, how to be safe, but it's next level to really be talking about burnout, anxiety, stress, eating well, sleeping well, feeling good. Those are things that, and honestly, Jeff, I work in a male dominated industry, and typically gentlemen are not that fond of talking about how they feel, or even showing any kind of what they might perceive as a weakness. And what we're finally seeing in our world is that mental wellness is not a weakness. It's a real thing, and it's okay to talk about, and we should talk about it. And I've had some great opportunities in the industry where I've been hired as a speaker to present workshops on wellness and incorporating that into the landscape and snow operations. And some of the associations are really embracing that, because they see it. They see that really does help an employee become a well-rounded individual. And I've had some great results with a few of my, both in the classroom and on an individual basis of, the primary thing people come to me for is that they can't sleep at night. That's actually what gets the conversation started. And once we start talking about like that they can't sleep, and I've been there, done that. I know exactly what there's, what that feeling is like. You get through, you get into the middle of your day and you're exhausted. And so you are now supplementing literally with caffeine and other types of stimulants to keep yourself going. And then you can't get to sleep. And then, and that's a whole nother discussion on what that causes. But so that's usually what folks come to me about, is because they can't sleep, they're exhausted, and they're like, what I need to do something. It's not that they want to, everyone wants to eat better and lose weight, and in our industry, in this particular industry, managers tend to be a little bit overweight or not where they want to be health-wise, because they've transitioned from working in the field and getting lots of exercise to now a management position with tons of stress, which we know causes all kinds of health issues. And so they're just trying to find their way. They're trying to figure out how to adjust to it, how to manage it. And so the conversation of wellness becomes very important to them. And we've had some great results with incorporating a supplementation protocol to help get the wheels turning, and then tweaks in their routine that go along hand in hand with it.
Yeah, awesome. No, that's great. You just answered the next two questions, so we're going to wing it here, and that's okay. So what I heard you say is that you're able to incorporate this into some of the companies that you are consulting with. So obviously they're receptive to the idea of being able to educate the field about this, which is awesome. Have you found any resistance from anybody in regards to your coaching this in the industry yet? Or has it been pretty much receptive?
Yeah, if the resistance is there, Jeff, it's subtle, or it's just the resistance is that they don't take advantage of the opportunity that's available to them. I wrote a book and published it this past year about how to develop a training program inside companies, because there's a need for that. And so it's developed, and it has all the seasons of what you would normally think about, for example, in a landscaping company that you would train on. But what's also inside of that is the personal development pieces.
Right.
And that's really my niche, where I talk more about why it's important to be healthy, how to manage that in the day-to-day of your world, how simple it can be once you get into a routine of that, and good sleep habits and all those kinds of things. And there, I haven't found any specific resistance, because when you lay it out and you really start talking to people about what their concerns are and solutions that you have, it becomes like, yeah, I'm interested. Yeah, I want to try that.
That's
I tell
good.
everyone, just try it.
Right.
If what you're doing is not working, then what's the harm in trying something new that might work?
Well, not only that, but try it because it's 100% guaranteed. If you don't think it works for you, you get your money back. That's the bottom line. It's no risk. So,
Right.
so with that, I know some of my coaching clients, they've had some really amazing results and some major transformations from physical, mental, as well as coming off of medications. Obviously, we always promote that work with your physician in regards to the medication. Do not stop. The idea is to get you to feel better day after day, week after week, month after month, and then wean off of them. Just like myself, I came off of 5 medications through my journey, but it was weaning off, and now I'm medication free. So with that, can you share any, and you may not have this yet, but it's in development. Have you had anybody, be able to share with you that they have either reduced some anxiety medication or stress medication to going completely off or diminishing that for them, if they're that far sharing it with you?
Well, so I'm thinking of two individuals, one specifically that has had an amazing transformation, and he wasn't on medication for anxiety. He'd already run that gamut and opted not to take medications for it because they made him feel so different than on it. He weighed it, and so as he no longer took any of those kinds of medications. But let's see if I can give you an abbreviated form of it. So he's in the trades, been in the trades his whole life. So the typical aches and pains that comes along with stress on the body, solo business owner. So tons of business stress, but he suffers from anxiety. And for him, 2 things could happen when his anxiety flares. One is that he gets angry, like the drop of a hat, like it just comes on and he gets really angry. And so when he feels that, he isolates himself because he doesn't want to, explode or any of those kinds of things. And so that second symptom of it is that he isolates. So he sometimes would, if the stress was too much or whatever thing that got him going, he would sometimes even go home. Like he just couldn't function until he got past whatever that situation was. So I had the fortunate relationship that I finally, I mixed up some of the stuff we use is very, very simple. It's a scoop or a package in water and you drink it. I mean, it's like super simple. Yep. And so I put 2 of them together that I know work really well. They work for me for anxiety and, mental focus and that kind of thing. So one day I was just like, kind of like, here, drink this. And he's like, what is it? I'm like, does it matter? Drink it. And so we did. And 20 minutes later, so I was like, how you feeling? He's like, well, that kind of, I feel better, but not great.
Man response.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, okay, good. Like, so you'll do it again. So I gave him a few, whatever. And I'm like, take one in the morning before you go to work, take one in the middle of the day. And if you feel like really like, world's going crazy, do another one. He's like, okay. So he did that for a few weeks, and he significantly noticed a difference. Yeah. He didn't check out the way he did. He was feeling like he could deal with it. He was still, upset or whatever, but he was dealing with it.
Sure.
So fast forward few 6 months, I got him to try like a mood stabilizer. So it helps to to lengthen the fuse, if you want to say, with that kind of thing. Little while later, I got him to try targeted probiotics. They're, the ones that really turn the gut around, really help with resilience. GABA, like he's starting to sleep better, and so now he is he's building a business that's amazing. He's handling all kinds of crazy stress. He's not in the field anymore. He's got people working for. I mean, it's just like this great story. And one day he was like feeling all out of sorts, and I was like, what's what? And he goes, I don't know. And I'm like, well, did you? I did. I just don't feel myself. And so I let him be for a little while, and then I started asking him some more questions. Well, turns out he'd been out of one of the things that he had been taking for some time. He was out of it for about 10 days. And I'm like,
hello,
like, he started it up again. And it like I quote, I can never be without these things. It's like, it's transformed his anxiety. It's transformed his focus. He sleeps well. He just, he doesn't really, he won't tell his, like, I can talk about his story, but he won't tell his story. He doesn't like to talk about that kind of thing, but it's really, really made a huge difference in his,
awesome.
In his whole life.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And he may speak out one day, because it took me a while to speak out with my story. And, it will come to a point where I reacted. I was a high reactor when it came to stress and anxiety, more so the stress. But today, rather than react, I evaluate, and it's so much peaceful. It's so much more peaceful. And
for everyone.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Absolutely. So, so with that, we're kind of winding down here. My last question for you is, if you could plant a seed for our viewers out there who might be looking for that glimmer of hope, because I know that was me about 3.5 years ago, the hope, I was looking for hope, wanting something different, an alternative option that was safe and works. What would that seed be that you would plant for our viewers today?
I would say that if that there's a lot of options out there right now to help you feel better. And I would say that if you are someone that is having difficulty sleeping, or you are evaluating and looking inside and saying, I just don't feel great, or I wish I had more energy, or I wish I was, a little more even keeled, or whatever that it is, there are options out there. And given the right protocols that are available for you, you could truly feel way better than you do, like 100% better. And if you know someone, if you know me or Jeff, or you follow us and you have that feeling that, geez, maybe they might have something that might help, and backed up by science, backed up by, some, like a money back. We can't guarantee any of this, but right. I can guarantee you I'll give you your money back if you don't feel like it works.
Yeah.
But there really are options. We as a society have come to believe that the way we feel is okay. And we've forgotten how good it really can feel, and how we used to feel jubilant and energetic and slept well. And let me tell you, friends, that is still available to you and is at your fingertips. And if anything, like we've said, even triggers a little bit of notion, you know, find out more, because there's a whole new world that's opening up in this arena that has never ever existed before. And it could be a game changer for you.
Absolutely. And that's great. Thanks for sharing that, Angela. And, you know, Angela's correct. I mean, mental health is the next trillion-dollar industry. The Global Wellness Institute last year specifically stated that they're looking for innovative companies who are developing non-pharmaceutical protocols that are safe and work. We are already 4 years ahead of the game with our science-backed clinical trial, plant-based, vegan-friendly, and award-winning product line that targets gut health as well as mental acuity when it comes to anxiety, stress, depression, along with all the others that are associated with that. So I want to thank you for joining tonight. Abundance and Optimum Wellness 2022 is the year for transformation. For those who are going to catch us on the replay, definitely check the notes, because I will put Angela's information in there. You can reach out to her with any questions. You can reach out to me with any questions. And until the next time, we wish you all well. This is before the Christmas holiday. So happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, happy holidays, Happy New Year. And we'll catch you on the inside the next time. So thanks very much, everybody. Have an awesome evening. Bye-bye. Thanks, Angela.
Thank you, Jeff.